for us. So, Hamdah, you're actually covering two different rallies from Tel Aviv this evening. What are both of them asking for?
Let's start with the anti-government demonstration here that has dispersed due to the use of force by police against demonstrators. Police on horseback pushing back the crowds, around 3 water cannons spraying from all directions in order to get demonstrators away from blocking the roads, which they successfully did. So this demonstration here was calling for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to step down immediately, also calling for new elections. They said that because the Israeli Prime Minister and his right-wing government were unable to secure a deal, it means that they're going to continuously show out in full force every single Saturday until there is a change. Now, right across the road, there is a rally held by the families of Israeli captives. It is the 20th demonstration in a row every single Saturday. They're calling on the Israeli government to secure a deal to bring back their loved ones. They're saying that the Israeli government should be offering any concessions. They should everything they have to the table in order to secure their release. But remember that the Israeli Prime Minister had previously said that there are red lines, and he's not willing to offer up major concessions. So both of these demonstrations happening side by side, and while some of the agenda items like bringing back the captives, securing a deal for their release was the same, the size and scale was quite different. And at the anti-government protest that you can see behind me has pretty much dispersed. Demonstrators here were clashing with police. They were trying to get a message across that they're going to continuously show out in this force until there is a change within the Israeli political establishment.
Okay, Hamdah, if I can get you to pivot to something else, very important on the Israeli landscape and in the context of Israel's war on Gaza. What are you learning about negotiations right now for a possible ceasefire deal? Because there has been an Israeli negotiating team in Paris.
Well, we do know that that negotiating team has come back and presented what they're calling an outline for a framework to Israel's war cabinet, who reportedly convened on the phone to vote on that framework. This comes after immense U.S. pressure to send an Israeli negotiating team back to meet with mediators in order to secure a deal, hopefully, they say, before the beginning of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister has released several posts on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying that he did, in fact, send this negotiating team to try and secure a deal, but he still believes that military force is the only way to bring back the captives. Additionally, he talked about operational plans for the ground invasion into Rafah, and that the cabinet was going to be meeting on that this week to discuss those plans. So they're going to simultaneously be discussing the ground invasion into Rafah, where nearly 1.5 million Palestinians in Gaza are seeking refuge. And they're also going to be discussing a framework for the release of captives. In this outline, we're talking about around 40 Israeli captives to be released, around a 6-week pause in the fighting, and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails to be released as well. Again, this is all in its preliminary framework, but negotiators are saying they're treating this with a cautious optimism, and that there is hope on the horizon, but there are still a lot of gaps that need to be filled.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big change from what it looked and sounded like a week ago, when it looked like the needle wasn't moving at all on these negotiations. Hamdah Salhut reporting from Tel Aviv this evening. Thank you very much.